Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Karkadash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Rosh Kodash, the tongue, I say Barakadam to the elders and apostles, while I came, Aquaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a wars, I would say wars and rumors of wars news updates as of April 27th, 2026 on this Monday night. And this is a news article from Time of Israel. It was published from A to C's Time of Israel Spaz and posted by Jacob Makalet, if I'm pronouncing the name right, from Time of Israel, last updated April the 27th, 2026 at 8:36 p.m. And as you've been seeing, the battle was spreading from loose, been heating up because you had Nero 47, what was that, like a week and a half ago, has extended the ceasefire, and because you still got the United States still blocking up spreading from loose. And then the Trump administration was kind of waiting for Iran on their side to see what type of proposal they were going to make to potentially end the war in the blocking up spreading from loose as well too. Now that you had, as of recently, Iran had, sent like multiple proposals towards the United States because they had like a press briefing earlier today. They were speaking about, they was in discussion about the proposal that Iran sent to the United States. And then you had right here says Rubio rejects new Iranian proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz what the future the future of talks in limbo, right? So the future of talks is kind of in jeopardy. It's kind of in limbo right now. Iran's plan is it says Iran plan is I will blow you up and pay us, says top U.S. Diplomatic tanker traffic move is great, which Iran says it controls. German mirrors Iran is humiliating the U.S. in talks. Hey, so that shows potentially that these tensions are heating up between the United States and Iran on the battle of the Strait of Hormuz. So that goes into that Matthew the 24th chapter, which is wars and rumors of wars. As mentioned again, if they don't come with no type of agreement, then if they don't come with no type of agreement to de-escalate tensions or try to stop the war, hey, best believe the United States still going to block the Strait of Hormuz. That's going to cause more global concern with the global economy. With these oil prices going to potentially goes back up. So these nuclear wars, these oil wars, is only going to continue to heat up between the United States and Iran, and if the United States continue to block the Strait of Hormuz. And then the more proposals that Iran get the United States, they're going to continue to keep on rejecting it because the United States armies, of this current administration, seem like they want to fully control the Strait of Hormuz, and then they want to have the upper hand. And Iran seemed like they're not going for that. It seems like both sides, it seems like they're not getting no fair deal on either side because either side want to have the upper hand, especially the United States. They want to have the upper hand. It says Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. It says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Yeah, Matthew 24, 6. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but it is not yet. Right, so the battle about Strait of Hormuz between the United States and Iran, of both armies, is only going to continue to increase. If either side doesn't get to no agreement, if either side don't agree on certain things, they best believe the United States is going to continue to block the Strait of Hormuz. That's going to cause nuclear war, and it's going to cause more oil war between these nations, which have been going on for the past couple of months. Best believe it's going to heat back up once again. Now you have Rubio. Yep, it says Marco Rubio. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Monday that a reported recent offer from Iran to open up the Strait of Hormuz under restriction conditions is not acceptable. Right, that's what he said. It's not acceptable. This recent offer they recently rejected. It says speaking It says, speaking in an interview in Fox News, Rubio said Iran has a different view of the strategic waterway that most of the rest of the world does. It says what they made by opening a strait is yes, the straits are open as long as you coordinate with Iran or permission, or we will blow you up and you pay us. That's what Rubio said. That's Marco Rubio, the kid. That's he said. That's what Iran kind of thinking right now. It says they are not open the straits. It says the top. I mean, you saying that by Iran, but look at you. You not open up the Strait of Hormuz. Y'all supposedly want a deal, even though you're not patiently to open the deal. But y'all say y'all want Iran to come with some type of deal so y'all can end the war and unblock the Strait of Hormuz. But y'all rejected their offer, and then y'all continue blocking the Strait of Hormuz. So really can't really say Iran's on the wrong side. Y'all on the wrong side as well too, because y'all trying to get the upper hand of the deal, and then y'all trying to get their oil and their resources. As recently they trying to get their oil, nuclear, non-nuclear uranium, and uranium that they're trying to send back to the United States. So as I mentioned again, as that was been mentioned previously, that's not unfair. That's not fair on Iranian side. While both sides on certain things that they agree upon, best believe these tensions are only going to escalate. As it says again, Rubio rejects a Iranian proposal to reopen the Strait for Moose with the future talks in limbo. Right, with the talks in limbo. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right. That's what we're seeing between NATO and Russia. I mean, NATO and the United States over there, the Strait for Moose, that region. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places right along with it. And this is the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? The armies of the other nations, the prophet Joel is mentioned. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, come up, right? Because you're still going to have nations not being fully gathered over there in Western Asia. And that's what we see. The United States recently shipped some more ships over there. I think it was like the third U.S. ship been shipped over there in the Middle East. And then they sent additional troops over there, I would say like a week and a half ago. While the ongoing battle of the Strait of Hormuz heating up between the United States and Iran. Now, Rubio rejected the latest offer that Iran was given to the United States, and they automatically rejected that. Joel chapter 3, verse 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and the plenty hooks, and the spears shall let the weak sound strong. Right, because you're still going to have the pro-Iranian groups over there in Lebanon still be going against the Israel Defense Force. And then you're going to have the Iranians still going to be rising against the Israel Defense Force because you still got tensions still there between those two because they are arch enemies. Israel and Iran still. Uh, what's that? The United States versus the Israel Defense Force still going to continue to increase. The tension between the United States armies versus the Iranian armies, that's only going to continue to increase because as long as they don't have no deal in place, but believe the tensions are only going to escalate. And this is so we'll leave it at that. This is the book of Matthew's, the 24th chapter. Yep, this is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24. Matthew 12 and verse 25. So, yep, this is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25. It says, and Yahweh shall know their thoughts, right? Your heart, your mind. And Yahweh shall know their thoughts. And he say unto them, it says, every kingdom be divided against itself shall not stand, is brought to desolation. Or every city or house divided itself shall not stand, right? That's what we're seeing. That's going to come to full effect. And this is the book of Luke, the Gospel of Luke 21 and verse 25. Yahweh shall speak in red letter. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth the distress of nations, but perplexity with worm. Right. So We're seeing the nations are in perplexity and distress, which that's going to continue to increase, especially the tension between Iran and the United States. And this is the book of Luke. Then I'm writing out some more news articles that relates to wars and rumors of wars. And this is the Gospel of Luke 21 and verse 10. It says, Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Rise so more kingdom against kingdom, and nation against nation. Which we're going to continue to see that increasing. And that's what we're seeing, especially between Iran and the United States. Check out some more news articles. Check out the Jerusalem Post. Let's see. Hit Narrow 47. Trump is unhappy with Iranian proposal. Does not address nuclear program, U.S. official says. Right, because I think it was that previously the United States, the current Trump administration, it was proposing, I think they was proposing a 20-year ban of nuclear program, and then they wanted to fully ban it for life as well too. In Iran, it was like, no, we offer a 5-year banning or a temporary ban on it, and the United States they agree upon on it. So, had the way these talks between both sides for the past 2.5 months, it kind of been unsuccessful. So I just add a sad note to that. Check out the Middle East, which is Western Asia news articles. So wait for it to load up. And what Elder Apostle Tahar said, he said every time you miss a lot, every time you miss an hour, you miss a lot, and that is a true statement from Elder Apostle Tahar, especially with Miro 47. This guy's a madman. Every time he say something, he say one thing, he say something different. So that's an indicator, as I mentioned again, even if I sound like a broken record player, that shows that the tension between Iran and the United States is only going to heat up. If either side doesn't agree upon no deal, hey, best believe the battle of Strait of Hormuz is only going to heat up. That's going to affect these other countries still, especially with this oil prices, with these inflation and all that. So that's going to affect the global economy with these oil and fuel prices. That's really going to affect all the countries around the world. So these oil wars and these nuclear wars is only going to expand. It says Trump is unhappy with Iranian proposal and does not address nuclear program, U.S. officials say. It says the Iranian sources early on Monday said that the proposal will set aside discussions of Iran's nuclear program until the war has ended and disputes over shipping in the Gulf are resolved. It says, this is from Reuters on April 28, 2026, reads, it says a U.S. official said on Monday that the President Donald Trump is unhappy with Iran proposal because it does not address Iran's nuclear program. He doesn't love the proposal, and the U.S. said refers to Trump. Earlier in the day, Trump discussed proposal with his top national security aide, and the U.S.-Iran conflict remains a stalemate. It says with the energy supplies from the region reduced, dispute over nuclear issues. It says the Iranian source early on Monday said that the proposal will set aside discussions of Iran's nuclear program until the war has ended and disputes over shipping from the Gulf are resolved. Washington has said nuclear issues must be dealt with from the outset. Working on bridge gaps between the U.S. and Iran has not halted. Sources from the Mediterranean Pakistan has said, but hopes to revive peace efforts. As of right now, it seems like they're not going to revive those peace efforts. It seems like they're not going to have no discussion at the table. As of right now, it's just proposals from Iran, and most likely the United States is going to reject it if they don't find a deal for them to have the upper hand. It says that Biden's special envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner the Islamabad, the Pakistani capital. Right, because they were supposed to meet over there in Islamabad, Pakistan, for a second round of talks, but it didn't hold off twice. So as of right now, best believe we're going to potentially see more and more of the battle of Strait of Hormuz continue to escalate. Check out some more news articles. Get back to the time for Israel. It says Iranian defense holds talks with Russia and Belarus ministry, right? Because the alliance, the alliance definitely heated up between Russia and Iran and Belarus and Iran, because you had I would say like a couple months ago, you had the president of Belarus met with I think Iran, and then Russia did the same thing as well too with Iran. So these I would say economical and nuclear perspective cooperation are heating up with Belarus and Russia being more allies with Iran. So check out Associated Press. It says U.S. and Iran clash. Yeah, Associated Press News. It says U.S. and Iran clash over Tehran's nuclear program as Nevada atomic treaty begins at the UN. Right, because they're not going to get that resolved anytime soon. Because as I mentioned again, the United States going to be trying to ask for a 20 plus year ban of a nuclear program. Iran is unable to meet that offer, which they previously said they only offer a 5 year only a 5 year ban of the program. It says this is from Live Updates, April 27, 2026. It says as of 6:49 p.m., Rubio says preventing Iran from nuclear program remains a core issue. It's going to remain a core issue because Iran is not willing to give up their nuclear capability. They're not willing to give up their nuclear program. If that's the case, so that the United States is going to continue to block the Strait of Hormuz, and it's not going to be no end to the war. It says Bassin says business with the Iranian airlines risk of exposure to sanctions. Iranian officials criticize EU remarks over sanctions. It says Netanyahu says that Hezbollah is down about 10% of its arsenal. Even if they're down with their arsenal, but they're still not going to get there. That's still not going to stop them from fighting back against the Israelis. It says as of 12:09 p.m., Israel cancels major holiday gathering over Hezbollah threats. Yeah, Joel, I just said that. Yeah, Joel, the third chapter, Joel 3, verse 10, let the weak say I'm strong. And so, despite the fact they agreed to this 3 week ceasefire to have more talks, between Lebanon and Israel, but you still got Hezbollah. They're going to continue to resist against the Israel Defense Force because you're still going to have a multi, I would say like a multi cross-border conflict, between the borders of Golan Heights and the borders of throughout Israel and throughout the borders of Lebanon. Because you're still going to have the Hezbollah using airstrikes in northern Israel, southern Israel, and central Israel, and over there in Tel Aviv as well too. And then they'll continue to use attacks over there to go Heights as well too. So this self-defense border cross-border conflict is only going to escalate between Israel Defense Force and Iran. It says UN officials and dozens of countries call for immediate action in releasing Iran's hold over the Strait of Hormuz. Which the United States, they're not going to accept that. They're going to continue to be rebellious, and they're going to continue to block the Strait of Hormuz. It says Pakistan cleared straits of third country goods to Iran. It says Iran. Oh, they closed. What about what? O'clock?
Today Sunday.
No, today. Monday.
Oh, I thought today was Sunday. Oh, no, it's screwed.
I could just gotta tap it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much on it?
10. Yeah.
Negative 10?
No, $10.
Okay,
Yeah, $10. Yeah.
thanks.
Cool. All right, let the lights stay on.
Oh, my bad.
It says the U.S. stocks mix as their record rally slows while oil prices rise. Right, because I remember that was yesterday, like 2.1% of gas prices, oil prices was rising once again, and then it was like $100 a barrel, I believe. It says Russian Vladimir Putin met with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Karasti. It says Lebanon. It says Lebanon President blasts Hezbollah for rejecting talks. Right, because I spoke about that. What was like a couple minutes ago about Hezbollah of continue to resist. They don't really want no talks with. They really don't want no talks with the Israel Defense Force. So you had the governors and president of Lebanon criticized Hezbollah for rejecting it. I mean, you think about it. If I was Hezbollah, I would do the same thing as well too. Now I would criticize, Lebanon government while y'all having negotiation talks with the Israel Defense Force, while they continue to try to full control the southern part of Lebanon, and they doing unprovoked attacks, killing innocent men, women, and children. I agree with Hezbollah on that. Why would we want to have talks with them? Why would we want to sit down at the negotiation table? And then they trying to fully control the southern part of Lebanon. But Lebanon governor, y'all criticizing us while we trying to defend ourselves, and then we trying to help y'all out at the same time. But you want to talk to the enemy, That's why the scripture says, what's that? Ecclesiastes 12 verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for iron's rust, so is wickedness. And this is get back to that. Yep. So yeah, why would I'm Hezbollah. Why would I want to trust the Israel Defense Force? But you, as our president of Lebanon, why would you want to criticize us? While we're trying to defend ourselves, we're not the ones that's killing innocent men, women, and children. We're not the ones that's killing innocent Israelis, over there in Tel Aviv. We're trying to defend ourselves. We're trying to resist them using airstrikes against us, bombing our journalists, which they recently did. I believe they killed like 5 or 6 journalists for the past couple of weeks unjustly. They didn't even apologize. They didn't say anything about that. So if I'm Lebanon, why would I want to have discussions with them? And that's what I think that he was the president of the governor leader of Hezbollah. Even I think his name Qassam, I think that's his name. Qassam, the governor leader of Iran, recently criticized Lebanon leaders for having talks with Israel Defense Force. So that lets you know, the leaders of Hezbollah, they're not going to resist, even though they might have heavy blows, heavy losses, but they're not going to resist. I mean, they're not going to give up. They're going to continue to resist and go against the Israel Defense Force. So as I mentioned again, you're still going to have high tensions of a cross-border conflict between the Israel Defense Force versus Hezbollah, the deeper part of the suburbs of southern Lebanon versus the Israel Defense Force. A cross-border conflict is still going to heat up in far as like self-defense concern. This is a news article from 3:28 a.m. China opposed U.S. sanctions on oil refining. Right, because I think was that anybody that do deals with the United States, I mean, even the United States, I think Trump made that announcement like a couple of days ago or last week, if I'm not mistaken. He was saying that if China or any Iran allies have any deals with Iran, they're going to get hit with oil sanctions, they're going to get hit with economic sanctions, and they're going to get hit with 60% tariffs as well, too. It says 1:26 a.m. Iran offers proposal to U.S. to open the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, that was earlier already. Yep, so bring out some scriptures and I'm gonna close it out. So this battle of Strait of Hormuz is something that will continue to increase, and then those tensions over in Lebanon and Israel border tension zone going to escalate. So bring out that Revelations 11 verse 14 to close it out. So definitely we're going to continue to see these wars and rumors of wars are still going to escalate. And this is the book of Revelations 11 verse 14. It says the second will pass, behold the third will come quickly. Right, so the second will pass, behold the third will come quickly. So with that, this was just a sit-down lesson of the wars and rumors of wars as of April 27, 2026. It was Monday night. So hopefully this was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. And with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the lost God's holy tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'aki and Ma'akwaf. Until next time, I would say Kum Yashwara, and above the ball, Shalom.